Hello, Sarah. Hi. Okay, now we got to wait for a while because the rest are not in yet. So let's give them a bit of time to enter the classroom, all right, the meeting room. Hello, Jethro and Christabel.
Hi.
Hi, okay, thanks for your response. Could everyone hear me? Okay, good, thank you. All right, so today I'm running a bit of high temperature, so I couldn't get into the center. So we need to change. That's why we changed the lesson to the online lesson. All right, but I'm still fine to teach. All right, it's just that after the jab, feel a little feverish, so can't get into the center. So anyway, how was everything? Was it good? Good in school? Any happenings in school? Any interesting things that you would like to share with me? Okay lah. So anyway, we will start off with the lesson. Remember the last lesson, we were going through this revision exercise 7, and you had a short quiz in the MCQ section, but we couldn't go through it today because the worksheets are in the center. So I will plan to do that the next lesson. So we shall carry on with the topics on decimals, right? The topics on decimals. Now, can you open up the worksheet 6.1, right? Open up the worksheet 6.1. Now, probably later on, if there's a bit of time, we shall run through some of the questions from revision exercise 7. Okay, so we'll start.
Can I go take my paper first?
Sure, no problem. You go and take your worksheet first, all right? Everyone should have a hard copy of this worksheet 6.1 because the last lesson we have gone through to the section D. All right, that means this section D was already completed. All right, and today we will go on to the section E. So Christabel, are you doing decimals now in school? Sorry, Christabel, are you doing decimals in school now?
Yes.
Oh, yes, okay, good. Can follow through, right? Okay, no problem, right? Sarah, what about you? Could you follow through the lessons in decimals? Do you understand? Okay, good. All right, we will go through more examples. If there's any questions, feel free to ask me. All right, sometimes you may be shy to ask the questions in the class or even in this online lesson, but you can always stay back after the class and check with me, okay? All right, make sure that if there's anything you don't understand, you have to ask immediately. All right? Is Jethro back? No response means that it's not back yet. Okay, so anyway, I will start off with the section E first. How do we express this in decimals? Now I can see that all these fractions are upon 100, some are upon a 10, and then some upon 1000. Now when you see all these denominators, it will be very, very easy to solve it because we can...
Yeah, I'm back now.
Hello, Jethro, no problem. Yeah, okay. Okay, so you see, when we have this this denominators of 10 and 100 and 1000, it'll be very easy to express them in decimals because you know that each decimal place represents a part of the tenth or part of the hundreds or even a part of the thousands. For example, 7 over 100 can be written as 0. Okay, so you see 100 has 2 zeros, means that there must have 2 digits written at the back of the decimal point because the digit place stands for the tenth and the hundreds. So the decimals will therefore be 0.07. Why? Because each of these digits after the decimal point represent tenth. See, like this one is a tenth. T, E, N, T, H. All right, and this represents the hundredth. All right, so what do we mean by tenth and 100th? If it's 10, it will be a 1 decimal point, 1 decimal place. All right, because tenth means 1 over 10, 1 out of the 10 parts. And then this 100th means 1 out of the 100 parts. So since we have 7 out of 100 parts, then we must put the 7 on the 100th place, right, on the 100th place. Got it? So you've just followed the number of decimals, the number of zeros. Okay, the number of zeros after, as a number of zeros in the hundreds or the thousand, and then you just put the number accordingly. So if it's 100, there will be two digits after the decimal point. All right, Ken? Okay, so what about 2 whole 4 over 10? So it's 2 whole 4 over 10. You see the 10 has only one zero. So that means I can only put one digit after the decimal point. Now this big number here, 2 whole, is referring to two ones. So you must put it in front of the decimal point. So it's 2.4. That's the answer. So it's 2.4. Got it? Okay, so you do more, then you see the pattern and you understand what I'm trying to tell you. All right, so now your turn to try. I'll go through this first. Later on, you have plenty of time to try. Okay, now what about this? 7 whole and then 35 out of 1,000. So 7 whole means it's a 7 1, so it's 7 point. So now you see thousands has how many zeros? 3 zeros, right? 3 zeros. So after the decimal point, there must have 3 digits. All right, but the 35 has only 2 digits. So what must I do? It will be equivalent to 7.035. Okay, 7.035. Understand? Okay, I'll give you one more example. Let's say we have 10 whole, and then this one is 112 out of 1,000. Okay, 112 out of 1,000. And look at my zeros. My zero looks like dumpling, right? Don't know how to control the mouse, but drawing it like making me think of food. Okay, so here we have this 10 whole 112 over 1,000. So how should I express this as decimals? It will therefore be 10 points. Remember, all these big numbers here will always be in the ones or the hundreds or the thousands place. That means they are the digits before the decimal point. So it will be 10.112. Because as I've mentioned, 1,000 has 3 zeros, there must have 3 digits after the decimal point. So here the numerator already shows 3 digits, right? You just put it in as 112. Whereas just now you see this 35 only got 2 digits. So you must put a 035 after the decimal point. Okay, steady, yeah, no problem. Okay, now your turn to try. 123 out of 100. Christabel, can we have your answer?
1.23.
Okay, not 1.23, but very close. You see, if it's a 1.23, right? That means there's a 1 before the decimal place. Then you should have a big whole number here. Try again. You don't see any big whole number here, so you should start off with 0. Point. Okay, what do you think, Christabel? Oh, sorry, I see wrongly, Christabel. No wonder you paused for a silence. Okay, my mistake, teacher Joyce mistake. So sorry. I saw this as 1,000. Okay, I saw this as 1,000. Okay, you're right, you're right. The answer should be very good, Christabel. It should be 1.23. Well done. All right, now why 1.23? Because this 123 is already more than 100. So here I can make a whole, one whole. Actually, if I express this as a fraction, it will be a 1 whole and 23 out of 100. All right, so therefore it should be 1.23. Okay, good, Christabel. All right, so that is the answer. Okay, now what about question 5? Sarah, what is your answer for question 5? 144 over 10. Any idea? Very good. Okay, 14.4. All right, 14.4 is the answer. Okay, so now you get a clearer picture on how to convert all these fractions, which are upon 100, 10, and 1,000 to decimals. Then of course, there's another method for you to learn, which I've also explained during the class. That is by shifting the decimal point. All right, like for example, the first question, 7 out of 100. How do I shift the decimal point to get it to a decimal? You see, the 100 has two zeros, so 7, the decimal point is at the back. So I can shift by 2 places to the left. So when I shift by 2 places to the left, it will get me to, let me erase this. Okay, it will get me to a, you see, 1, so 1 decimal point, 1 decimal place is here. Okay, and then this is 1 decimal, shift by 1 decimal place, 1, and then 2. So in the end, my decimal points will end up here. So that's why it's written as 0.07. Got it? All right, so you can use the shift in the decimal place to help you to get the answers as well. What about this? 35 out of 1,000. So 35 out of 1,000, I put my decimal point here because 35 is the same as 35.0. So now I got to shift how many places? Since there are 3 zeros here, I have to shift by 3 places. So I have 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. Alright. So that's how I get the answer as 0.035. Okay, and since this is 7 ones, then I put a 7 here. So this is how I get 7.035. Right, so the shifting of the decimal place can only be used if the denominators are in terms of tens, hundreds, or thousand. Okay, steady everybody? 10? All right, so let's clear this drawings. I think some of you are still jotting down the notes for this. If you want, you can go ahead and jot it down. Give you 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, ta-da, we clear the drawings. Okay, let's move on. Question 7. So you're going to write the place values of the digit 7 in each of the following. So what do you mean by the place value of each digit? Oops, where is it? The place values. Okay, so what do you mean by the place values? The place values is referring to the place such as ones, tens, hundreds. Then if they are if the digits are after the decimal point, then it will be termed as tens with a th at the back, hundreds also with a th, or even thousands with a th at the back. Right, so each of you have a chance to tell me the answers. Now, Jethro, could you tell me the first one? What is the place value for 7 in question 1?
Ones.
Sorry, ones, right? O-N-E-S.
Yes.
Actually, y'all can write, huh? Okay, I give y'all the chance to write. Otherwise, very boring. Every time I do the writing, then you'll sit there do nothing, is it? No lah, you're not sitting there doing nothing. You're actually listening to my explanation. Okay, so what about this? There are five. Okay, so Jethro, you will take question 1 and 2. And then Christabel, you will take question 3. Sarah, you will take question 4. Right? Sarah will take question 4, and I will take question 5. Okay, so you can fill in the blanks. Sarah, could you write on the screen? Can you annotate on screen? You try. If not, then you're going to type out your answers in the chat group. Today the weather very cool, right? Is it still raining at your place? Everyone? Over at my place it's still raining. So Christabel, you will take question 3, and then Sarah, you will take question 4, and I'll do question 5. So Sarah, what about you? What's your answer? If you can't type it out, it's alright. You can just put it in the chat. Then I will do the writing for you. Sarah, you're there? Could you give the answer, or if you can't, you can.
I need to switch to another device, so I'll leave the meeting then join back.
Yeah, no problem. No worry. Okay. See you later. Sarah, you are trying to figure out the annotation, is it? You need my help? Oh, okay. Okay, so anyway, Sarah. Ah, okay, okay, I got your chat. No problem. Christabel will understand. Okay, so anyway, can you send it to me now? 100. Okay, can. No worry. Okay, good. So 100. Oh, okay. This one should be a thousands. Thousands. CHOUSANDTH. All right, thousands. Now, why is it thousands? Because you see your decimal, you see your this digit 7 is in the third position counting from the decimal point. So the first digit is 10, and then the second digit is 100, and the third digit will be a thousand. Right, so that's the answer. Very good, everyone. You got the idea. Okay, so jot down the answers before we move on. All right. Jethro, you're there with me?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, good. Hey, this is nice. I like the Among Us. I think Among Us are very, very colorful. Although I could not figure out what they are. Actually, what are they? Are they robots? Or are they have no eyes? They are always on mask. So I have no idea what are they, but I think they look very, very colorful. Yeah, so that's a very nice picture. You download everything and the on the Google, is it? Yeah. You know what is this place? Does anyone know what is this place? The one that is on Sarah's screen? That is actually the Palm Island in Dubai. So actually built this Palm Island in Dubai to house all the expensive bungalows. Yeah, and it's a very special it's a man-made island actually. Yeah. Man-made island is not a natural island. Okay, so let's clear this. Clear it and let's move on to the next section. The next section, they give you a number line, right? Give you number lines and they want you to divide the number lines into different parts. Okay, I'll show you one example. I'm sure you'll be able to catch up with me by doing the rest of the examples. You see, from 0 to 0.1, how are we going to assign the small, tiny divisions here with a smaller decimal? So actually, from 0 to 0.1, each of this decimal or each of this division will represent 0.01 because there are 10 divisions here, 10 parts. So you're going to take 0.1 divided by 10 parts becomes 0.01. See, like that? 0.1 we divide by 10 parts. Divide by 10. Now, what did we learn about the shifting of the decimal place earlier on? Is that if there's a digit, if there's a 0 in the 10, I have to shift the decimal place by 1 place to the left. So my new decimals will therefore be 0.01. Okay, 0.01. That means each tiny part here is actually 0.01. Okay, so this one is, let me erase and write again. I will put on. Okay, so each of this part is 0.01. Okay, 0.01. So subsequently, the other parts will be 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, 0.05 will be B. Okay, 0.05. Right? Okay, then until here will be 0.09, then this will be 0.1. So what's next? This will be 0.11, 0.12. So it's 0.12 because each part, each tiny division stands for 0.01. So two division away from 0.1, you must add 0.02 to the 0.1. You see, when we do addition of the decimal, it goes like this. 0.1 plus 0.02. When I do my working, did you realize that I also put the decimal place all in line? The ones place is in line, the tenth place also in line, the hundredth place also in one straight column. So I put a 0 here, I add them up together. You see, this will get you to 2, this is 1, and this is 0 here. So and as a result, the final answer will be 0.12. Okay, so after we've gone through these simple questions, in the next section, you're going to do addition and the subtraction of the decimal numbers. All right, so when you do the addition and the subtraction, you're going to do this kind of working, put them in the same column, you get it to this. All right, so what about F? F is just that's one division away from 0.2. So this will get you to 0.19. Okay, everybody? Good, huh? All right, so now your turn to try. Let me see. Yeah, question 2 and 3 are the... Okay, so can I clear the writings here? Can you can if I can clear the writings, could you show me a thumbs up? Okay, thank you everyone. All right, so let me clear the writings. Now we have question 2 and 3. Question 2 and 3. So I will have Jethro to try question 2, and then Christabel, you will take question 3. Right. Christabel, you take question 3. You can fill in the blanks by annotating it on the screen. Sorry, Sarah. I didn't realize that I was on mute. Sorry, everyone. Okay, so just now I was saying a lot of things. So anyway, I was saying that yes, all the answers are correct. Very well done. Um, you understood the concept. All right, you can get all these answers correct. So not a big problem. Now, what I'm trying to say is that the okay. So what I'm trying to say is that the decimal parts, all this division here, right? You just have to add a number at the back. For example, K 3.61, that's two division away from 3.61. So it becomes as in it will become it will become a thousands place, which is 0.002. So that's how we get it as 3.612. All right, and then this is 3.625 because it's 5 division away from 3.62, right? So that's how we get this. Okay, so the same goes for question 2. Okay, can? No problem, everyone. All right. Okay, so let me clear this. Okay, I'm going to move on to question 4. Right, so question 4, instead of showing a number line, it shows a weighing scale, or a weighing scale. So here we have the 0 kg and then 1 kg here and 2 kgs here. So we need to find out how many parts represent each of this tiny division here. Okay, let's work on Q first. Can you see Q is actually half of 1 kg? So that will be 0.5 because half is always 0.5. So this is 0.5. Right? Okay, now what about R? So here I have this as 0.5. Can you see I have a quarter here? So in fact, here we'll make it into a 0.25. That means a quarter is 0.25. So this is 0.25, right? And then this is 0.5. So this, can you make a guess? This will be a 0.75. Okay, 0.75. Because when I add a quarter to it, it will get me to 0.75. All right. So what do you think this is? How do we calculate it? If this is 0.5, this will be 0.6. You see, this is 0.6, 0.7, 0.8 here. Okay, and then we have a 0.9, and this will be 0.95. You understand? That's how decimal works. It's all due to the division of the tiny parts. So here, in each of this division here, one tiny part represents 0.05. Okay, one part, one division is equivalent to 0.05. Understand? Can anyone, any questions? Okay, so your turn to try, your turn to try question S. So each of you, you have to take a closer look to the diagram and see how each part, each division is represented by 0.05. Okay, so now you'll try part S. Sorry, the question S. Right, question S. And then you tell me, you can write the answers on the screen, or you can send a chat to me on the answers for question S. Now you may write the answers anywhere on the screen, right, or somewhere here closer to the question S. So what is your answer for S? What is this math here? So Sarah has an answer which is 2.25. What about Christabel and Jethro? What's your answer for S? Is it also 2.25 or you have other answers? Okay, so Jethro is 2.5. Okay, then what about Christabel? Christabel is thinking, is it 2.5 or 2.25? Or I have other answers. So you have to look at it carefully and believe your own answer. This or other answers. Yes, Christabel, it's okay to make a mistake. Just provide your answers to everybody. So Christabel, circle this. Okay. All right, now the answer should be 2.25. This is the answer, 2.25. Okay, why is it 2.25? Because if you look at this part here, right, you can see this is 1, right? You just see this part is actually 0.25 more. So actually every quarter here is a 0.25 more. So that's why we have to take it as 2 whole plus 0.25. That will get you to 2.25. So why not 2.5? Because if it's 2.5 it will have a longer division. Can you see this part? This division here is longer than this. So that is a 2.5, right? So sometimes in a weighing machine, not just weighing machine or in any kind of instrument, they will not show a complete scale, right? We call this as scale, right? Will not show a complete scale because you may think that, hey, this is 0 already, man. So maybe this one is 0.5 and this shows another whole number. But usually it will not be like that because sometimes in the instrument, there's a limitation in their manufacture. So, but then they cannot, because of the limitation in the manufacturer, then they change the division to other division. All right, the division must always be consistent. If every one division represents 0.05, then it must follow 0.05 throughout. Got that? Okay, so that's how we get the answer, 2.25. Okay, good, everyone. All right, so let's move on. Rounding off. Now, who has already learned rounding off to the whole number? What about Sarah, Jethro, and Christabel, have you all learned rounding off?
Yes, I've learned rounding.
Oh, okay, okay. Christabel, I think maybe not. You have only just started. What about Sarah? Haven't learned, is it? Okay, can.
I learned a bit.
Oh, learned a bit. Okay, okay, good. Then Sarah hasn't started, right? Rounding off. Okay, can. Now, do you have the worksheet 6.2 with you now? Did I give you all the worksheet 6.2? Last lesson, did I give that worksheet 6.2? Don't have, ah? What about the rest of you? Because I really can't remember whether I've given you all the 6.2 worksheet or not. Sarah don't have, is it? Okay, okay. So if okay, no worry. 6.2, let me show it to you on the screen first. Okay, now actually I have asked the receptionist to put up the worksheet 6.2 in your drive, all right, in your drive. So if you want, you can use the worksheet 6.2 in your drive as a reference, but otherwise, when you go back to the center next Tuesday, I will print out this worksheet for you. Okay, so what you can do in the meantime is that you can write it on foolscap on the answers for this questions from worksheet 6.2. Then, when you got the hard copy next week, you can transfer the answers, right, to the worksheet 6.2. Or if you want, you can print out your materials now. Okay, either way is that is comfortable to you as long as you are doing the questions during the lesson. All right? Okay, so for 6.1, we shall pause at the rounding off. We'll try a few more questions on the expressing the decimals to the hundreds and the tenth place. When everything is stable, we will go back to the rounding off later. All right, so if you look at 6.2, I want you to take a few minutes to try and work on the question 1. All right, I'm showing you this on the screen so you can try the question 1 and question 2, A, B, and C. Okay, those they can see on the screen, you can try it now on foolscap. Okay, just 5 minutes, give it a try first. I'll go and get some water. I'll be back in a while. Huh? back. All right, so how is it? I'm sure you are done with the questions. Okay, so I'm going to fill in the blanks in the on the screen here. So Christabel, you will take question A, B, C, right? A, B, C, and then Jethro, you will take question D, E, F, and Sarah, you will take question 2, A, B, C, right? So just give it a try first. As in do show your answers on the screen.
I don't have that paper.
You don't have the paper, so no worry. That's why you write down the answers on a foolscap, and then you can write down answers on the foolscap, and now you can present your answers on the screen. So I was saying that the paper, if you want, you can print it out. It is in your drive. Otherwise, next week when you go back for the class, I will give you I'll print it out for you and I'll pass you the hard copy.
But I cannot see the question.
What can I see the question? No? Um, okay. You mean until from just now till now you can't see anything on the screen? Okay, no worry. Could you see it now? Can you just see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right. You let me know if next time there's any technical problem. All right. Okay, so if that's the case, can you just try the questions and write it on the screen? I will print out the hard copies for you next week. All right. So that'll be question 1, A, B, C, Christabel, and then Sarah, you will do, Jethro, you will do D, E, F, and then Sarah will do question 2. Okay.
What question do I do?
For Jethro, you will do question D, E, and F. 1, D, E, and F. Okay, so Sarah, if you have the answers for the other parts, you can text me as well. All right. All right, so let's take a look at question 1, the answers. So 210, yes, this is 0 0.2. 410, very good, 0 0.4. 5 out of 100, that will be 0 0.05. So 310, that's 0 0.3. 800 is 0 0.08. And 1200 is 0 0.12. Very good. Okay, so in the okay, let me jot down the answers first. So for 3.14, that's 0 tens, very good, 3 ones, 4 10, and 100. All right, the same for 2A, which is all correct as well. 110, 0 ones, 2 10, and 800. And for 21.07, that is 210, 1 ones, 0 10, great. Okay, and then this is 700. Okay, so everyone, no problem with this. Now we're going to clear this drawings now. Okay, we're going to move on to question 2. All right, so for question 2, part D, E, and F, D, E, and F, question 2, it should be a 10 tens, sorry, 1 tens, okay, 1 tens, 0 1, 7 tens, and 0 100. All right, now what about this? This is 0 10, but there's only 2 ones. And then 7 10, and 100. Right, 7 10, and 100. Okay, so what about 87.05? 87.05 is 8 tens, 7 ones, 1 10. Is there any 10? No, there's no 10. So it's 0 10, but there are 5 hundreds. Right, 5 hundreds. Okay, so you can jot down the answers. Okay, so let me clear the drawings. Now remember to transfer the answers to the worksheet when you receive it next week. Alright, so what about question 3? What do you mean by what is the value of the underlying digits in the following numbers? So when they ask for the values, you have to write out it's not writing out the place value, it's actually writing down the values. For example, question part A, 3A, this 2 is in the ones place, so it will just be 2, right? Then what about 3D? The 6 is in the 10th place, so you must write it as 0 0.6. That's what they meant by values. Alright? Okay, so what about 39.81, question 3C? So this 3 is in the 10th place, so that will be 30. Alright, and then 5 is in the hundredths place, so it will be 0 0.05. Okay, so these are the answers for question 3. Alright, any questions? Okay, so you want to pause for a while for a toilet break, 5 minutes, then we'll come back, we'll go through the rounding off concept for the decimals. Is that okay? 5 minutes of a toilet break, alright? Okay, so when we come back, we will go into the worksheet 6.1. Okay, you may go for a toilet break. Okay, everybody, are you back? All right, so I'm going to start off with the concept on rounding off, and we are going to refer to the worksheet 6.1. Is everybody back? Or am I just talking to myself?
I'm back.
Okay, thank you. Christabel is back. Sarah is back as well. Okay, so you're gonna refer back to your worksheet 6.1. Okay, worksheet 6.1. And just now we stopped at question 4 on page 7. So now we're going to go into the section H, right? Section H to learn about how to round off the decimals to the nearest whole numbers. Okay, so there is a method to it. Take for example, question 1, 2.8. Now, the digit 8 is in the 10th place, right? P-E-N-T-H, the 10th place. And then 8 is more than 5. If 8 is more than 5, you have to round this decimal up to the closest whole number, which will get you to a 3, right? However, if the digit after the decimal point is less than 5, for example, question 2, you see this digit 1 is after the decimal point, 1 is less than 5, then you have to round it down to the closest whole number. That means it will remain as 24, or it will be 24. Okay, now what if they give you a decimal 24.6? Right, 24.6. Can't you see this 6 is bigger than 5 and is after the decimal point? So if it's bigger than 5, you have to round the number up to the nearest whole number. So this will be equivalent to 25. Because the next whole number after 24 is 25. So round up means that the number will be the next bigger number. Round down means that the decimals will still remain as its closest whole number. All right, some more example. What about 43.5? If this digit after the decimal point is just nice and it hits 5, we will round it up. All right, so we round it up. So this will be 44. Right, it'll be 44. Okay, so these are the rules of rounding the decimals to the closest whole number. Okay, let's write down some notes. Okay, so if the digit in the 10th place is 5 or bigger than 5, then we shall round out the decimal to the closest whole number by increasing the whole number by 1. All right, so on the other hand, if the digit, right, if the digit in the 10th place, oh no, cannot copy. Never mind, I'll just type it out again. All right, so if the digit in the 10th place, we will always look at the 10th place because that is the digit that comes straight after the ones place. All right, so when we round it off to the whole number, we have to look at it, the 10th, the digit in the 10th place. All right, now later on, you will learn how about rounding off to the nearest tenth place or the hundredth place, then if you are rounding off to the nearest tenth place, you have to look at the digits in the hundredth place. Okay, never mind that one later I'll teach you, but we will run through this first. If the digit in the tenth place is less than 5, then we shall round down the decimals to the closest whole number, and this is usually okay, so usually will remain as the same whole number. Understand? Yeah, so please jot it down. Right, so let's try and do question 4. So I have 7.45. Now we don't bother about the 5, but we will focus on the digit in the 10th place. So this is a digit 4. 4 is less than 5, so we'll just remain it as 7. Right, remain it as 7. Now what about question 5? 10.55. So the first digit in the 10th place after the decimal point is already 5. So we shall round it up to 11. Got it? Any questions? Christabel, okay? Because you've not learned this, uh, or you've just started learning this. What about Sarah? Understand with us? Can Jethro, okay? All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so have you jotted down the notes? If you have, just show me a thumbs up. Okay, thanks, Sarah. What about the rest of you? Okay. Okay, so everyone is done, right? Okay, I'm going to clear this writing. Hello, are you there? I think my computer is hanging. Hold on, let me try and close the file first. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me close the file and I'll open it up again. Okay, can. All right, so in the next section, we are going to look at rounding the decimals to the nearest one decimal place or the two decimal place. So how do we do this? Now, just as I've mentioned earlier, if they want you to round it off to the closest 10, right, the nearest 10, then you have to look at the digit in the hundreds place. For example, 9.14, 9.14, you cannot look at the 1 anymore, but you have to look at the digit 4. Right, so digit 4, which is less than 5, means that the decimals will still remain as 9.1. It means you must keep the digits in the tenth place and also the ones place. That means the whole number you keep it, and also the ones place you must, as in the tenth place, you must keep the digit as well. So that's what we meant by rounding off to the nearest 10, or you give the decimal to one decimal place. So your answer for this section should all be written as one decimal place. That means there must only be one digit after the decimal point. Okay, for example, question 2, 15.75. So you look at the 5, you don't look at 7 anymore. 5, what do? We round it up. That means this becomes 15.8. This one, I written it so ugly. Let me rewrite. So this one should be 15.8. So you must round out the number 7, which is in the tens place, to 8. Do you understand the concept and the pattern? Alright, okay, let's try this. 0.98, round it off to one decimal place. So you're going to look at 8. Right, look at the 8. So how do I round this out? You see, 8 is bigger than 5. So I must change this. I must increase the 0.9 by one decimal place. So it becomes 1.0. Okay, it becomes 1.0. Understand? Because 8 is already bigger than 5. So I must increase the 9 to a 10th, right? I must increase it to 10. So the next number or the next decimals will be a 1 whole. But I cannot write as 1 whole. It's wrong to write it as 1 whole because they want us to round it up to the closest one decimal place. So I must show it as 0.0. Okay, although 1.0 is the same as 1, but then they want us to express it as one decimal place, so you're going to write it as 1.0. Okay, got a pattern now? Alright, so understand the concept. Slowly we'll do more examples, you'll get better. Okay, then this one, 24.87, 24.87. So look at the digit 7, bigger than 5, so you must put it as 24.9. The 8 will now become 9. You round it up. It means increase the 8 by 1 becomes 9. Okay, and for question 5, look at the digit 4. Right, digit 4, smaller than 5. So remain the numbers, keep the number. 37.5 will be the answer. Okay, everyone? Yeah. Okay, now, so I'm going to give you some examples on the screen. You're going to try it. Okay. Okay, so let's say I'm giving this decimals, 11.14. So ugly, not nice. Okay, let me rewrite. Okay, now I can do it better. Alright, so 11.14, you're going to round these decimals to the nearest one decimal place. Okay, actually here we cannot write equal sign. We have to write the curly wurly sign. I'll show you how to draw the curly wurly sign. This sign, oh, so very ugly. Okay, I'll draw again. This curly wurly sign stands for rounding off approximate value. Okay, so try this. Next I have okay, so Christabel, you will take the first question, 11.14. Sarah, you will take the second decimals, 107.89. And Jethro, you will take the last one, 0.0625. Now round off all these decimals to the closest one decimal place. You can write on the screen or you can text me. Oh, Sarah, you will do the second one. Yeah, Sarah, you can do the second example, right? Okay, very good. So it's 107.9. All right, 0.9. Now, so you do not have to write 0.90 because you're supposed to show it as one decimal place. So you can only write one digit after that decimal point. Okay, very good. Everyone got the concept. So it's 11.1. This is correct. And this one is also correct, 0.1. You can see that for the for the decimals, there are so many digits at the back after the 6. But you don't bother about the other digits at the back. You just have to focus on the digit 6. Alright, since it is bigger than 5, then this 0 must be changed to a 1. That's how we get it to 0.1. We have to increase. That means we have to round it up by increasing this digit by one place value. Alright, so we get it as 0.7. Any questions? Okay, a few more examples to show you before I end the class. Now, so even though if I have things like this, 124.0035, okay, 0.03035. So how do I write the decimals that's nearest to the one decimal place? So here we are focusing on this digit, the digit in the hundreds place, right? But then this digit in the hundreds place is a 0, no? The 0. So it's actually less than 5. So what we do, we have to round it down, which means that I have to keep all these digits here. So my decimals to the nearest one decimal place will have to be written as 124.0. Okay, 124.0. Understand? Okay, so another example, let's see if I have 87.409. Okay, 87.409. So round it off to the one decimal place. We look at 0 here. You see this 0 is what we need to focus on. Since it's less than 5, then we will keep the numbers in front of it. That will be 87.4. Okay, 87.4 rounded off to the closest one decimal place. Understand the pattern? Yeah, okay. So next week, we are going to look at the rounding off of the decimals to the nearest two decimal place or the nearest hundred. I think now you can make a guess how will the pattern be like. In fact, you have to just look at the digits after the hundreds place. So like in, for example, question 1, 4.528. You're going to look at the digit 8 now. 8 is bigger than 5. Oh, so I'll do this one. Not nice. Erase away. Okay, so 8 is bigger than 5. So therefore, I need to increase the digit 2 by 1. So the final answer will be 4.53. Okay, and you should expect all this final answer to have two decimal places. That means there must be two digits after the decimal point. Got it? Okay. All right, so next week we'll run through this and I'll get you the hard copy for this worksheets. No homework today. All right, we'll carry on with the lesson next Tuesday. Is it okay, everyone? Any questions so far? No, right? Going on fine, yeah? Okay, good. So we'll stop here today. All right. Okay, bye-bye. See you.